Hello everyone, so today I'm gonna make you a tutorial for Eternity Reach. So I usually sign up for the 11 UTC session because it's a pretty quiet time. So as you can see, I failed totally my first Eternity Reach event, and then I looked up online to find the good strategies that I'm gonna share with you today. So it may not be the most optimal technique, but it has worked pretty well for me up till now. I got second ranking, third or fourth. So you can sign up for Eternity Reach until 10 minutes right before the hour you'd pick. I personally always heal my troops before any event because I never know if it's gonna prevent me from joining the battlefield or not. Then to save time during the center battle, I like to go to the gem shop and buy speed up for troops, but I advise you be careful with the way you spend your gems because as you can see I am broke, I don't have a lot, and that's gonna put me in a bad position later because you want to ideally have 1 to 2 advanced teleporter at least to move around. So if you can afford it, I advise you buy 2 quick march 2 to not have the pop-up when you're going for the center during the battle. Also what can help is to buff with the little arrow right under your profile. I personally don't buy any buff because it's expensive and I'd rather use the one I already have. In that case I had nothing but squad's health. The thing is that you don't really need to buff up for the Eternity Reach because you're gonna mainly go gathering and hit Caesars. You're only gonna fight when it's time for the center, and if you're not a whale you know that you will not be able to hold the center for a long time and you're just going for the bonus. And so by buying the quick march earlier we made sure we will be the first in to hold it for some seconds. So I also wait to be one of the first to enter the battlefield because position placement are something really important in Eternity Reach. During the countdown up there I look around me to find a good location where there is not anyone too nearby me and where there is plenty of veins and some Caesars to make some point. And so as you can see there is a guy here. It's not really good for us, but if he's alone it can do because he's not too close either. We want to be alone because we're gonna use a skill which is obtained 5000 copper ores when occupying a normal vein, and this skill is triggered once per minute. So we want the veins to be occupied by Caesars, and if someone else is too nearby he will fight them for us and then we will have to send the troops far away to get the bonus. So you will see that location is a key aspect in Eternity Reach. The bonus you pick also have an impact on your overall score, so these are the one I take: right, right, left, left, right. So first one is to get points when you kill Caesars, second one is to walk faster, and third one is to obtain the copper when you defeat the best wreck. First one is to improve your gathering speed because you will not really fight in that game, so the healing heroes thingy is basically useless for us. And as last I also take the gathering speed bonus because we again are not fighting. So this is just me looking around the map if there's not a better location. This one could have been well, but there is someone. I like to look against the walls because there is usually not that many people there, and when you find a good location like this one you gotta look around that there is no one too close to you. So here there is no one, but we keep looking. You also gotta keep checking around your base regularly because as you can see the number of players is increasing, so people are spawning all around and you don't want too many of them near you. So now the battle is gonna start. I just look up again to see that there is no one still, and someone appeared in my good location, so I am gonna have to do with what I have right now. I use the bottom left button to find Caesars alone, and I still look for another location because there is more people around me now. Also don't forget to get the skills as soon as you can get them. I make sure to send all my marches out to kill Caesars before looking again for a location. In Eternity Reach it's important that all your marches are out all the time to get you points. Here I found a location that is clearly not so bad. I mean there is people a bit further away, but it's better than what I have right now, so I port and again I send all my marches out. I also take the skills I forgot to take earlier, and I start by occupying a vein right away to take the bonus of points. I also click on don't show the pop-up again to save time, and basically my whole run will be about sending troops to occupy veins and kill Caesars. Do not forget about the bonus when you occupy a vein. I always look up at the time when my march is going to hit, So I know that at this time next minute I will have to have troops occupying a vein. Usually what I do is that I look at the next vein I can occupy and at the march time for this, and as soon as I send a march to get there, I recall the previous one to use it for something else. Also you can see that you have an extra march special that allows you to get the ores that falls when you occupy a vein. So I always try to have it always working because that's extra points. You can also see that I'm avoiding to go for Caesars when someone is already marching towards them, because if I hit after the other person I will just lose the time of a march back and forth. On the second time, fracture veins appear, and that's something really interesting because at that point you already occupied most of the veins next to you. So the ideal will be to have 3 marches towards the fracture veins and 1 or 2 for Caesars, and keep 1 for the extra bonus when you defeat Bestrek. So I just keep on like that until the center is going to open, and around the 8th minute I try to look around to send my troops out one last time and to look for position right next to the center. So the Peak of Eternity is opening 6 minutes before the end, and you want to be positioned around 7 minutes and a half to have some time to get ready. So here I found a good place where I can occupy a vein right next to the Peak of Eternity. So I decided to trigger my bonus to go to the Berserk vein, but before that you have to look closely at the march time and at the time it is, because you want your strongest march right into the Peak of Eternity to hold it a little longer. So now you can see the opening of the center, so you want to occupy it right away, so you send your strongest march and you use a speed up you bought earlier. That way I arrived second, but I managed to defeat the guy before me, and you can see that the next march coming at me is in 7 seconds, so I can hold it some time. Once you get defeated, you want to find another quiet place when you can be, and I found a pretty good one, but unfortunately earlier I didn't see that I didn't have any port, so I'm stuck where I am right now. So whether you TP or not, you have to go back to the strategy we were having all game, which means killing Caesars, occupying mines, and gathering fracture veins. So I just kept doing like I've done on my run, and I ended up with a pretty good rank. And I was so disappointed when I looked at the leaderboard, because turns out I could have been second, there were only 100 points separating us. And then you can see the occupation ranking that gave me a huge bonus to end up second. So that's it for today. Don't hesitate to write a comment or to text me directly on Discord if you have any question.